I didn't plan on making this video about the topic I'm about to discuss today. Originally, this was going to be a video follow up on a lot of the things that I left out yesterday when discussing raising children, dealing with this current, dealing with this energy, embodying the God essence, so to speak. But just recently, like 5 minutes ago, got an overwhelming rush of communication dealing with the whole Nipsey Hussle situation. And what a lot of people don't realize, I never really came forward publicly to talk about this, but in my ritualistic work within the last 2 to 3 weeks, going through self-initiation rituals with Los Santísima Muerte, as well as the Norse goddess of death, Hela, and other archetypes dealing with the death current and dealing with just overall spirit communication, that my necromancy abilities have been amplified immensely. So much so that I have to buffer them. So like a lot of y'all didn't know this. I was on vacation in Tennessee this past week. And prior to that, I kind of took a step back for a couple weeks just to just be doing my experimentations or whatnot. But I was, at my job, and one of my coworkers, who's a huge, always been telling me that, you need to check out Nipsey Hussle, man. He on the same type of shit you on. I kind of brushed it off. Mind you, I'm going to preface this before I go in, is that I wasn't a big fan of Nipsey Hussle's music. Not that I wasn't a big fan, I didn't really look into him. I didn't check him out. He's West Coast artist, and I'm an East Coast nigga. I'm like, Vril, the records, East Rock Marciano, that old fly shit. That's just my bread and butter when it comes to hip hop music. But what I was interested in was a lot of the other shit he was into, the alternative health practitioner, dealing with like Dr. Sebi and things of that nature. But my boy, well, like I said, I just came back from vacation. This is my first time seeing him since he wasn't here yesterday. He came back to work today. And when I was in Tennessee and I heard about like checking my timeline and shit like that on my IG, and getting my DMs and my email flooded with like what just happened with Nipsey Hussle, I felt so like, oh, it just flowed. I didn't cry, but I was more like, because I knew why that happened. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, fuck. So, like, mind you, I never ever listened to his music. But my boy, like I was saying, I was just in there talking to my boy about this. And he was telling, this motherfucker, I ain't seen, I've been waiting to talk to you about it. And I wanted to talk, because when it happened, when he died, I immediately thought about my brother, my younger brother, Brandon, who's been trying to put me up on him, and my boy, Lamar, at work. So, but when I was in Tennessee, like I said, when he died and shit, I felt my heart open up. You know what I mean? My heart chakra. So that night, around, I do ritualistic shit constantly, always at 3 a.m. That's when even before that, but 3 o'clock, I randomly selected a song from Nipsey Hussle. I'm like, I need to. But the whole intention and my feeling was emotion that I was driven to open up the communication with Nipsey Hussle, to communicate spiritually, because I know I can do it. And I randomly picked the song Racks in the Middle. It's my first time ever hearing him speak. Listen to the song, start vibing to it. And I do a lot of things with magnetism where I can magnetically track spirits or redirect them, or just, keep them from intruding into my metaphysical space, my mental space, my psychic space, where I don't get overloaded with voices and just outright visuals of me seeing them and shit like that. It keeps it, it's a buffer. But I use this, I had, just different elaborate ways I hook my shit up to my mind, to my brain, basically. But I'm just absorbing the music. I'm letting the magnetic energy absorb his message, his voice, into the magnet. And I'm using that. And I'm transmuting the energy that I collected from this through absorption of his voice and through his music and the sonics and the frequencies of his words and the sound in the video to open up the bridge, like Bifrost Bridge, in the spirit. And he came through immediately. Now, I'm experienced enough with it to not be spooked out by when I you know what I'm saying, when I'm seeing the spirit, you know what I'm saying, when I'm communicating with it, because I'm in that realm. I'm not physically in this third dimensional reality looking in the spirit that's outside of space and time. I'm outside of space and time as well as the spirit, as Nipsey Hussle was when I'm communicating with it. And it's through symbolism. And it's an instantaneous telepathic communication that you have with spirits. And the underlying, I'm not going to get too personal on what he told me, but I'm going to tell you what he wanted me to deliver to everybody else. And before I go in on that, I need y'all to all look at me. I need you to realize, hear my voice. This ain't no sigil. This ain't no me pulling no okey doke on motherfucker. This not me talking about this shit to get likes, to get subscriptions, to get any type of props, to get any type of notoriety or whatever. I'm pure heart with my approach when I'm speaking this, especially about this, because this is a powerful message. It is not just coming from me. Hear my words. See if there's any deception, any maliciousness, any, nefarious type of shit. Because I can be nefarious. You need to understand that. I can be. And I have been. Hear my voice now. Let it permeate through your essence. And you weigh it. If I'm bringing pure heart with this shit. I'm going to give y'all 13 seconds to do it. Hope that was enough time. I wasn't gonna do this shit, man. Fuck it, I gotta come with it. Man, the shit he was on, the shit that he brought forward, far as the ideas that he had. And understand something, him dying, it's fucked up from a human perspective. But in the grand scheme of things, from the macroscopic viewpoint of this shit, outside of space and time, looking into a reality, a third dimensional reality simulation that we find ourselves participating in, this experiment, he orchestrated the whole thing. Just like you orchestrate your entire life. You see what I'm saying? He orchestrated his whole death. Know that. Why? The idea. You gotta think about the shit he was into, the shit he talked about, right? Now, I ain't watched no interviews of this shit. I know what he was talking about based on what people were telling me, because he was speaking on a lot of the same shit that I used to speak on when it comes to health and shit like that. But the idea of you being of optimal health, the idea of you being in your prime condition in a melanated body, in a carbon body, not carbon-based body, a carbon body. The idea of you operating on all those levels, and the danger that comes from that, why the establishment is so afraid of that. The inspiration behind just him being involved with that shit is the reason for his death. Because it's inspiration. It's inspiring. It was his death. It should be a motivation. Should be what he wanted me to say is like it should be a calling out for individuals and collectively to not only research and study the shit that Sebi was on, and not just study the shit that he was talking about, the ideas that he was, trying to bring forward, but to apply them. Apply the principles of raising your frequency of thought, of spirit. And as a side effect of that, a side effect of you unlocking what you truly are. You see what I'm saying? Unlocking the true essence of what you are when you know what I'm saying? A byproduct of that, a side effect of that is your DNA coming online. Your memories are just going to flood through and permeate through your entire essence. You see what I'm saying? And you just going to start to just know shit without having any logical or reason to you ain't going to be able to explain it. You just going to know it. your right hemisphere of your brain that start activating, and you just gonna know shit. You just gonna know how to do shit. You just gonna have all your racial memories of all our ancestors and shit that just come online. They'll just be speaking through you through symbolism, through your fucking genetic structure, your DNA. That's why that shit he was on was so dangerous. And that was the underlying reason for him to orchestrate his death. Not to strike fear in other motherfuckers for following up on what he was doing, but to inspire and be a light, shine a light in the dark, and like a pylon crystal which is going and embedded into the earth that's going to permeate a message for and a resonance for individuals who own that same shit to follow up on what he was doing and take that shit to the next fucking level, individually and collectively. It don't cost you nothing. It don't cost you shit. So think about this again. The reason Sebi, any alternative health practitioner that's melanated, that's black, you gotta understand something. That you heard me talk about this shit a lot from a left-hand path perspective. I'm just gonna talk about this shit from a whole. I'm gonna bring everything together. We gods. We running this entire simulation. And I'm here to tell y'all niggas, like Hussle, Nipsey, and individuals that's on that level, or that level of light that came here, that delivered a message, that came here for a purpose. And you know what I'm saying? You gotta understand, he back home, and he, you know what I'm saying? He in the spirit. That's where we come from. He back home. He in this most powerful form. Think about that. So we shouldn't mourn. You're not supposed to mourn death. You need to celebrate the fact that he going back home. And not only that, take what the fuck he was talking about and apply that shit to your everyday lifestyle, your health practitioner, whatever that you're doing. Apply the shit spiritually, metaphysically, to tailor-made it for your personality, your psychological framework, whatever path you on, and embody this shit and start working this shit. You got to understand that what he represented, as far as like, bringing that shit to hip hop and shit like that, was, you know what I'm saying, wasn't too many other motherfuckers doing that. And this for a reason, because it's going to put a target on him. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? He was steadfast in this shit. But he wanted me to say that everybody can't do this. Everybody ain't built for this shit. It's a lot of fear dealing with a lot of just... Think about the fear that's attributed to a black man or a woman being healthy. And the 24/7, 365 efforts from the, you want to call these so-called Illuminati or whatever, the efforts in them going in to make sure that you're not operating at your optimal health. First of all, they got to keep you sick mentally. And as a side effect of that, everything is going to fall into play for you to break down psychologically, physically, spiritually, consciously. You just going to, you know what I'm saying? But first, they got to unlock they got to fucking fuck you up mentally. And that's through not just eating, but thought form, thinking wrong thoughts, not knowing how to breathe, not knowing how to even form a cohesive thought form that's going to be conducive for your everyday lifestyle, that's going to be beneficial for you. I mean, it's so many different things that they get you here. They fuck you here. And as a side effect, the body is going to fall. It's going to follow the mind. Mind over matter. Your mind rules matter, whether you know it or not. But know that, I want you to think about how powerful you are and how afraid, absolutely terrified they are of you. Motherfucker, at your worst state, when you shitting on the floor and throwing up in the toilet, you God. At your base level, your base fucking form of your true essence. I'm not talking about your physical, I'm talking about your true motherfucking essence is God. Or what we come to understand what God is. And we all know that's a German word. It only existed 1700 or whatever, but I'm speaking in layman's terms so y'all motherfuckers can understand. The deep niggas, all the other motherfuckers, they know what I'm talking about. But for lack of a better term, let's call it God. At your worst, you God. So to keep God, or to keep you, or to keep Superman, Superwoman from realizing their fucking divinity, they need to keep you distracted. They need to dumb you down. They need to take control of how you think, take control of how you eat, what your externally stimulated by, and controlling your thoughts. So, you know what I'm saying, that's a feedback loop to be able to mind control you, or mind control you enough for you to generate thought forms that's going to be conducive for them to keep control over your mind. And that's what they've done. But I'm here to tell you that it's not working. No more. And that's why they got to work 24/7, 365 to keep. You did. I think about it. The shit that Sebi was on, alternative health practice, you know what I'm saying, that keep the melanated body optimal and activating at the highest level, don't cost you shit. It's a shift in your consciousness. It's a shift in your mind to even consider that as a possibility, as an idea, for you to even ponder in your mind, for you to be able to be 100% healthy, to be able to be 100% operating with your full DNA and your metagenetic DNA just coming online, all your psychic abilities and all that X-Men shit you see and be activated and shit, your X gene and the meta-human type of shit that happened within DC Comics, all those shit is, they talking about you. Those are documentaries talking about your black ass or your melanated ass. That's why I'm not gonna go into how important the melanin. I'm not that nigga that's gonna be talking that melanin shit. That shit has been talked about. Anybody that's looking to further their study on that shit, I even should be past the shit that them niggas is talking about, because that's one level. You need to look into the motherfucking patents that the government and DARPA and other motherfuckers, how they weaponize melanin and to use that shit to fuel our technological advances all over the world. You need to look into that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to have words and terms that you might not understand, but one of the things that you should be able to do is be able to nigger it out. Not figure it out, nigger it out. And take that shit and apply that shit to your everyday nigga lifestyle, and how you going to use that the technology that they talking about within your own fucking DNA, your own melanin, and apply that shit to your life. Mentally, spiritually, consciously, physically, whatever. All the fucking illies and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all kind of, I can drop a lot of jewels on how to be able to incorporate a lot of the reading and a lot of the left brain rhetoric that a lot of the European institutions talk about, you know what I'm saying, when they describing your genetic structure and how all the abilities they have and the polymers and the neurotransmissions that operate at fucking speed of light and shit like that, firing off neuron pathways and shit, making you just be, you know what I'm saying, do the shit that you doing, you know what I mean? But that's what the shit he was on. That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted to express to me. And I was humbled by that shit. Humbled the fact that me listening to the song and me bridging the gateway, and him coming through the portal and the frequency of the music. And I never done that before when it comes to using or weaponizing music and using that as a Bifrost bridge to bring forth a spirit of communication. But that's gonna be a way I'm gonna synthesize and cultivate even further with my practice, with my necromancy. But understand something. I understand how it looks. He understands how it looks. Let's say that. From a human perspective, with him losing his life, and his wife Lauren London, and all of that shit, you know, I'm not familiar. I'm not aware of him having children. We ain't really talk about that too much. But from a human perspective, it's fucked up. It looks at, oh man, they killed another nigga. They always trying to stop us and shit like that. And we've been conditioned through repetition, through trauma, and through historical documentation of when individuals who stand out and speak out about certain topics of discussion that's, you know what I'm saying, fearful to the establishment, that they get silenced or murdered. What happens? We've been tailor-made to look at that situation and immediately fall into our root chakra with thoughts of fear and survival. In the reptilian, we go straight into the reptilian brain of being afraid of these motherfuckers killing us for speaking out, for stepping out of line of the, you know what I'm saying, the norm, so to speak. We automatically go there. And I'm here to tell y'all motherfuckers that we ain't going there no more. And after this video drop, you ain't gonna go there no more either. Because what's the opposite of fear? You got two emotions. What's the opposite of fear? Love. So this is the thing that he come through now. This is some crazy shit. wanted to express. Now, you can go back and watch all the videos, right, of his death and people talking. Go into a trance, go into your meditative zone. But instead of receiving the emotion of how you feel about this shit, about you feeling depressed, everything that stems from fear and stems from seeing another person of our kind be killed, so to speak. Because we all one. I told y'all that. But instead of feeling stress or trauma, suffering, just sadness, overall sadness and just depression and just, oh, fuck. Because you got to realize you're sending out cortisol energy, that fear hormone that's loose, that's food for motherfuckers to eat. Because when you start to fear that he got killed and the fear that's attributed to that fear is attributed to a cluster, a mimetic cluster. You see what I'm saying? A meme that's being directed and being reabsorbed by the motherfuckers who you attribute his death to, which is the establishment, the Illuminati. And what do they do with that shit? They transmute that energy that you sending through fear of Nipsey Hussle being murdered, and they redirecting that shit, and they using that shit to keep mind control over your black asses. It's a perfect fucking system, was perfect. Well, it's not perfect. It's a very insidious way of keeping mind control over you, keeping you in line. That's akin to how niggas on the plantation, right? All about 400 niggas picking cotton, and you got in the field, and you got one motherfucking white motherfucker with a gun. And nobody fucking step in line and just body that nigga and just get on some rebellious type of shit and just start rioting and pillaging and killing them motherfuckers. No, why? Because of fear. And most of the time, that motherfucking gun wasn't even loaded. Think about that and apply that to the situation now. So, going forward, instead of having fear, instead of being depressed and down and crying and shit, embrace his death. Love the fact that that nigga got murdered. Love the fact that he got killed. Love the fact that he's going back into the spirit. Love the fact that he's stepping beyond the boundaries of space and time, outside the limitations of the body holds on the spirit of the soul, and realize that motherfucker he's at his most powerful level. Love the fact that the fact that he came here and brought a message. You know what I'm saying? Came here, you know what I'm saying, piggybacking off of what Sebi was doing and branching that shit off into other shit that's tailor-made for his psychological makeup. You know what I'm saying? Nipsey Hussle. Embrace the fact that he came here to do that purpose. Love it. Feel it. Feel the admiration that you have for all our fucking people that came through with a message, that came here that's for self-empowerment, for spirituality, for metaphysical understanding, for cultivation of the consciousness of the mind and body, and knowing that this physical form that we in is not our motherfucking ceiling. This whole entire realm is for our motherfucking alchemical transformation, from gods to titans, from gods to something else. You see what I'm saying? You not human, nigga. You not human. We not human. We spiritual. We having a human experience, but we not human. And when our body drop, when we outside the body, when we outside of space and time, that's just the beginning of what the fuck you are. That's just the beginning of all the power that you have. Embrace death. Show y'all niggas something. I wasn't gonna talk about this specifically, but since he here, embrace death, motherfucker. Donotology, Donos, embrace it. Dono's in love with death. Why? Because that's the motherfucking gateway to the abyss of you, your entire essence, to your entire power reservoir of all power, omnipresence, omnipotence, any ability or skill set that you attribute to God, is you at your motherfucking base form, nigga. You at your worst motherfucking level is your omnipotent motherfucking nature, your all-powerful nature. You just don't realize it. You just thinking you just a human ass nigga in a singularity. When you can't, how the fucking God be in one fucking vessel? You everywhere. You connected to every motherfucking thing. Feel that. Feel that. Take that feeling that you feeling now when we talking about this shit. Take the feeling that you have of embracing the fact that Nipsey Hussle came here to deliver a message. Feel it and redirect that feeling or transmute that feeling into energy that's going to be conducive for your spiritual growth on whatever path that you're on. Use that energy to fuel your alchemical transformation from matter back home into the pleroma, into the spirit, and beyond. Feel that. Know that. That fear that you attribute to dark, to black, to death, is fear of yourself. So ask yourself, isn't it foolish to be afraid of myself? To be afraid of the image I'm looking at in the mirror? To be afraid of what I am? Your fear of death is your fear of God. And you are God. Makes no sense. But it makes perfect sense to get you to psychologically fall into the mind control framework or the root within the root social matrix to get you to become a slave, to get you to become docile and easily controlled. Because when your mind attributes fear with death, fear with Nipsey Hussle being murdered by the Illuminati, you automatically become susceptible for mind control because they know exactly where your brain goes or what brain you're operating from, the reptilian brain, which makes you more easily to be controlled. But they can't really control you because you're a chaos being. You only can steer, like I was talking that shit yesterday, you only can finesse or steer chaos energy a certain way. And they can steer the chaos energy that we represent and fucking steer it a certain way for us to be self-destructive, for us to create Chicago's and fucking Sacramento's and Philadelphia's where we going around shooting and killing each other and shit like that. But we not really shooting and killing each other, motherfucker. We just going back into the spirit. We just out here just chaos beings that just fucking, or just God that just don't know he God. That's just unfucking hinged. But if you focus that motherfucking chaos energy that we all generate, you know the fucking feeling I'm talking about. The same motherfucking feeling you go into the hood and you feel that fucking energy, that hood energy, that chaos energy when anything and everything can fucking pop off. That unlimited potential for destruction and creation and shit like that. That feeling. Take that fucking feeling that you generate naturally, nigga. You generate the fucking shit naturally and fucking apply that shit, transmute the energy to be conducive for your everyday lifestyle and your practical methodology for you to do any magical work that you want. Mentally. Apply the shit. Meant to know that you can do this shit. This shit ain't fucking hard. I got your motherfucking attention? Is your heart starting to beat a little bit faster? Are you getting hyped from this shit? Are you starting to understand that Nipsey was here for a motherfucking purpose? And it's all individual how you want to fucking, what you want to characterize it as. I know what he means for me. I know what he meant for me. And like I told him, I'm not even a big fan of the nigga's music. Never heard him motherfucking do an interview, nothing. My first motherfucking introduction to him, period, was fucking Racks in the Middle. I'm not telling motherfucker to go buy a CD. No. Take what he represented, his death, what it signifies, and tailor make it for you, what it means to you. How it's going to inspire you after listening to this video going forward in your everyday life. How are you going to apply and transmute energy to be conducive for your everyday motherfucking lifestyle? You a motherfucking magician. You just don't. Do you realize that shit? Do you realize the power of your mind? Do you realize you should know and understand the power of your mind when you just allow other motherfuckers to control it? Look at all that you fucking done. Look at the calamity that you created for your life right now. Look at that calamity that you created in reality itself when you're not fucking checking your energy, when you're not in control of your energy. Take back control. Reclaim your divinity. Reclaim your power. Because we not just gods. We everything. And guess what? We everywhere. We non-local and non-corporeal. That Higgs boson field, that's not out there. It's here. Projected out. Your spirit is everywhere and it's animating within all reality. It's in all things. Every cellular structure, every animal, every motherfucking thought generated, every fucking idea generated within the thought, within the mind, within the subconscious mind is you. Whew. So yeah. That's just a little piece of what the fuck he wanted me to tell you. You need to realize, transmute the emotion, the feeling that you had when you heard Nipsey die. Transmute that energy into love. Transmute that fear into love and appreciation of not just what he represented, but for your own motherfucking divinity. For your own mind. And use that energy and that momentum and that intensity that you built up with creating a feeling to fuel your alchemy, to fuel your transformation. Use that shit. Use what the fuck I'm saying and what the fuck Nipsey represented to cook and activate your melanin and to activate your motherfucking meta gene and watch the results. Sound insane until you do it. Niggas out here doing work, man. I know y'all can tell. But this shit serious. Last thing, as I've always said with this shit, self-responsibility and self-accountability for your thoughts, words, and actions in wielding this power is of utmost priority. It's a priority. With great power that you are comes great responsibility. Now this ain't the left hand path shit. This is overall consensus for any motherfucker, whatever path they on. If you're a religious person, you will do everything that you need to do down here while you came down here. In your next life, it's gonna lead you to realize that you need to self-deify yourself. That the energy that you put in and attributing to external deity is you the whole time. So I don't have any beef with anybody that's religious in this moment. It's all love. It's all alchemy. This is your journey, the hero's journey. And in your story, your hero's journey, you win. I don't think I got anything else to say. I think I said enough. Yeah, you can communicate with spirits and shit. So. Hit up my email for questions and all of that, all type of shit. I can show y'all more ways to help activate the shit more. But this message is about Nipsey, about what he represented for you, for everybody, for all of us. It's an idea. Nigga, he's a powerful motherfucker. Let's say that. You are too. Know that. Feel that. Don't be afraid to express it. How do you feel now?